Hello.
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 Started.
Thank you. Gaurav, we can start the session.
Okay. Okay. So, are you able to hear me properly, and can you see the screen?
Yes, Gaurav, we can see the screen and we can hear you properly as well. Thank you.
Okay. I think Kiran is having some
Once
problem.
again,
He's
yeah.
saying he can't hear.
And you can't hear us? Can you please check your mic, Kiran? And anyone else who is not able to hear us? Sunish, you there?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Okay, you can hear us clearly and you can see the screen as well, right?
Yes, right, I can see.
Okay.
I think Kiran is
Kiran,
also okay. So we have started off with this course in the last week, and we understood the basics of SAP S/4HANA. We started off with what is SAP HANA, and then how the SAP HANA and SAP S/4HANA came into the picture. Some of the benefits of SAP S/4HANA over its previous versions like R3 and ECC. And then what we are going to do today is we are going to understand how we are going to migrate or how we are going to move. I will not use the word migrate because that is only one scenario, but there are different scenarios. Let's say if a new implementation is there. So that is one of the scenario. If you are moving from your current ERP, which is SAP ECC, and you want to migrate to SAP S/4HANA, that is the second scenario. And then system conversion and landscape transformation is the third scenario. We are going to discuss all these things in detail. So the agenda for today is to understand how SAP is going to help you in terms of moving on to SAP S/4HANA. Means where are you going to start, what will be the approach, and how you are going to realize the benefits of SAP S/4HANA. So before I start off with today's session, let me just tell you, in our SAP R3, in SAP ECC, if you remember, the approach that we were using for any new implementation was ASAP methodology, ASAP methodology. And the basic purpose of that methodology was that was provided by SAP, using which you can perform the implementations faster, and if you use them properly, there will be less number of rework that you have to do. Instead of just going here and there, you need to follow that approach, which will make sure that you realize the benefits of SAP in a very short time. So if you remember this SAP methodology, there were different phases into this SAP methodology. The first phase was the initial preparation, which was basically to make sure that everything is in place before you start the project, like the team is in place, the project manager is in place, the team from the client side is also in place, the location where the consultants are going to sit, all these things like which are not directly related to the project, but the preparation phase talks about all these preparations in advance. And then the second phase was the business blueprinting phase, during which the consultants were interacting with the core users or the end users to understand the requirement from the business, like what exactly customers are looking for, what exactly is this business process, and how you are going to map the existing business requirements into SAP. And then you come up with the business blueprint document, which talks about how you are going to go ahead with the implementation of SAP. And once this document was getting signed off, which means everything was okay, then you were starting the build phase, that is the realization phase, where you are actually doing the configuration in the system. You are configuring different company codes, maybe from the sales point of view, different sales organizations, from purchase point of view, purchase organization, logistics points of view, plants. So all these things you are mentioning already in the business blueprint, but you are starting this configuration only in the realization phase. And once all the realization is in place, means all the configuration which was committed is in the business blueprinting phase was completed, you were going into the next phase, which was the final preparation. And this final preparation phase was talking about all that activities which are required before you actually perform the first transaction. So it was like giving the training to the end users, getting the user acceptance test done from the end users, getting that document signed off, and finally to make sure that everything from the first transaction point of view is in place. Also, in between the final preparation and the go live phase, you were also doing the migration. If you are using the existing system already, let's say you are using other ERP, you are not using SAP, but you are using other ERP, or maybe some different softwares. So from that, when you are moving to SAP, there is some legacy data which you are transferring. So it can be your open purchase orders, it can be your open sales orders. From stock point of view, the opening stock, all these things you are migrating, and then you are starting the first transaction, which was go live, and finally the support. So this was the methodology that was followed till now when we talk about SAP ECC. But when we are talking about SAP S/4HANA, here SAP methodology is obsolete, which means what SAP is saying is there is no need to follow the same old methodology. Rather, you can follow a new methodology called as SAP Activate methodology. So when we are talking about this particular session, in this particular session, we are going to concentrate more on what is SAP Activate methodology. Okay, now we'll talk about what exactly is this SAP Activate, but just the basic or to start off with, I'll just like to tell you that it is not completely different what we follow in the SAP methodology, but there are some changes. And the changes are from the, majority of the changes are from the first two phases. So for example, here we are doing initial preparation and business blueprinting, or let's say business blueprinting phase is completely replaced with some other phase that we are going to talk about. The other important thing is here, this Activate methodology is the agile way of methodology, agile way of implementation. Now what is agile? So of late you must be hearing about this agile methodology in all the fields, not only in the SAP, but all the softwares, the project management, everything is coming into the agile way. Agile is nothing, rather than doing everything at one place, agile means doing step by step. You do one process, check it, if it is working fine, deploy. Then go for another process, check it, deploy. So instead of delivering everything in one go, deliver it step by step. So this particular methodology, Activate methodology, is built upon that principle, that is agile way of principle. Let's get started. Any questions till now before we actually start off with the what is SAP Activate methodology? Any questions till now? Okay, no questions. Let's go ahead. So basically, when we talk about the methodology to moving on to SAP S/4HANA, there are these three different scenarios. The first scenario is a system conversion. If you see this scenario, it is simple that you have the ERP system currently, which is SAP, and from this ERP you are moving to SAP S/4HANA. So whatever version you are using, if you are using 4.7, if you are using 6.0, whatever EHP you are using, EHP 6, EHP 7, whatever, if you want to migrate from your current version to SAP S/4HANA using the same server, which means the server means you are going to replace everything from the ECC to S/4HANA, in that case you will use system conversion. So you can see the example, that is a complete conversion of existing SAP Business Suite to SAP S/4HANA, right? The second scenario that you can see is a landscape transformation. Now what is a landscape transformation? If you remember, we talked about in our demo or maybe in the first session that there are some customers, there are very big customers. Let's say, take any example like Volkswagen or maybe General Motors. All these companies are very big companies and they have the operations all over the world. And they are using separate installations all over the world. And then finally they are consolidating their results with some third-party tools, or maybe SAP BPC is a tool which can help them in the financial accountings. But at the end of the day, they are running different components in each country. They are all not integrated. So it is possible that one particular country is still using SAP 4.6, but other country is using SAP 6.0. So it is not practically possible to implement a single instance of SAP S/4HANA on all these components at one go. So what they have to do? They have to do it one by one. But if they start doing one by one, and let's say the number of countries where they are operating is, let's say, 50, and let's say if one particular country is taking 6 months of time to upgrade, then it will take them more than 10 years to perform everything on S/4HANA for all the countries. So till that time, what they will do? Is the answer that they will not be able to use the benefits of SAP S/4HANA? The answer is no. They will be able to use the benefits of SAP S/4HANA, but how? So you can see here, they will still continue to use SAP ERP, whether 4.6, 6.0, whatever they are using as of today. But whenever they do any transaction, it will directly reflect in the separate instance, which is a SAP S/4HANA system. So let's say you are creating a purchase order or a sales order in SAP 4.6. This purchase order or sales order will also get affected in the SAP S/4HANA server. But the question will be, in that case, the users will not be able to utilize the benefits. The benefits like, let's say, SAP Fiori screen, the front-end user interface screen. At the same time, the old tables will be affected in the old ERPs. It will be only, the difference will be in the new system. That is right. You will not be able to get the benefit in the source system. These are the source systems. But at the end of the day, your management, who wants to see all these results in real time for all these different company codes, all these different countries, they will be able to utilize the benefits if they are having a common platform or common database where all this data is flowing. At the same time, if you want to perform the consolidated reporting, that will be available here in the SAP S/4HANA instance. So this is, I think, even today also, this is not something new. Even today also, I must say that there are some companies, maybe you have also worked on, which are not having only one box. They are having different boxes. And the data is flowing through iDocs from one box to another box, and this is happening today also. So the same way will happen. Only thing is the box where actual data will move, that will be SAP S/4HANA database or SAP S/4HANA application server. So this is SAP landscape transformation. The third one, and the very pretty much straightforward, is the new installation, new implementation, where you don't have any system at all. At least SAP, you don't have any SAP system at all. You may be using some third-party software till now, but now you want to migrate to SAP S/4HANA. So in that case, there is no, I don't think there are any issues. You can directly install this new server and start the configuration. So these are the three scenarios which will come in picture when you are going to a particular company to implement this SAP S/4HANA. Any questions here? Do you think there is any other scenario which can come, or maybe some other scenario where it will fit in these three scenarios?
Yes, sir. This is Sunish here.
Yeah, Sunish.
Just I want to understand, like, you have mentioned system conversion and landscape transformation. So what I understood from you, like, when you say that system conversion, we are fully migrating or fully moving into S/4HANA system, right? From the whatever we have system in the globally. So all the system is moving into S/4HANA. But in the landscape transformation, you are seeing that when there are the regionally where we have the multiple system, we may have the different versions, or it may not be compatible for S/4HANA. So in that case, we can go for the regional wise or some customized way we can go with. Is that the way you mentioned, or something else?
Yes. So see, when it is very simple, when it is very pretty much straightforward, that you have some, let's say, 3 or 4 instances which are using SAP, and it is very much possible that all these 3 can be moved to SAP S/4HANA directly, In that case, you will go for system conversion. But when I talked about a big company where it is not practically possible to move everything at one go, in that case, you are right. We have to go one by one. And during this time, what we are going to do is we are going to use the same existing system. We are not replacing existing system completely. It will be done step by step. But till the time all these things are done, you are using a separate box which is bringing all the data from all these different boxes.
Yes, exactly right. So one more question that I have, suppose let's say even though we are moving in terms of the regional wise in the second second scenario, let's say in my landscape has 30% of the customization where I'm running in the customized code, right? In such a case, how the S4HANA migration can take place?
So you are having customizing reports. Customizing reports means what? They are fetching the data from the current system or what?
Not in the customized report, customized application itself I'm having. So not in
Okay,
the
you already.
standard SAP. So I'm saying that 30% of the SAP transactions I'm running on my customized, ABAP applications, the customized application. So what strategy I can use when I'm moving from my traditional system to S4HANA?
Okay, let me know if I'm getting your question right. So you are saying you already have some customizings which are bringing into SAP. So for example, you are having different softwares which you are using already, and the data is flowing to SAP from using this iDocs and all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So in that case, again, whatever you are doing till now. So for example, this is not only for SAP. This is not only for SAP. It can be your SAP. It can be any third-party tool also. So whatever you are using today, same thing you can use. For example, if you take an example of POS system, normally let's take an example of retail company. Retail company, they don't do each and every transaction directly in SAP. They have their POS system which is placed at the outlets. Okay, and whenever they sell any product, they post the document in their POS system, and then from POS it flows to SAP through iDocs. So this can be the POS system also. So whenever any document will be posted, currently in your case you are saying that if this is a POS system and if it is flowing the data to my SAP ECC, now what you need to do is you need to move this data either directly from POS to SAP S/4HANA, or other option is there is still this SAP system is in between. So this is already happening as the POS to SAP ECC, and then automatically from ECC it will flow to SAP S/4HANA. So both the options are available to you. It depends like which one you think is better one.
So maybe the scenario that you have taken in the different case, POS, and when you are taking in the SAP system, that is the interface technology, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the, suppose let's say in the finance you are doing the invoice posting, right? So when you do the invoice posting, suppose let's say as per my customer requirement, I'm not able to do without the standard SAP transaction, SB01 or something. So I developed the new transaction itself for that. As the same way for the standard SAP transaction itself, I created the many custom applications in my current landscape according to my requirement. So such kind of the scenario, when I'm trying to move into S4HANA, in the which scenario I can prefer? That is what my question.
Okay. See, if you are already running SAP, maybe any particular version and whatever customizing you have done, then you will fall under system conversion scenario. If you are directly migrating from the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA, which means you are replacing all the boxes that you have. But if you are still running, let's say if there are a lot of companies and then you are not ready to move directly to SAP S/4HANA, in that case the second scenario can also be in picture, landscape transformation. But your question, like let's say 30% of the customizing you have already done and you are not running these standard transactions. So even these new transactions, maybe back in the back end, let's say there is a custom transaction that you have created, but definitely in the back end this must be calling some standard transaction, right? So your custom transaction will still work on SAP S/4HANA. There will not be any impact on that. Only thing is if you are not writing anything directly. For example, let's say the tables. Earlier there were MKPF, MSEC tables. I'm just giving you the example. So now MKPF and MSEC table, let's say it is deleted. okay, and you are trying to write through code something directly to MKPF, in that case you will find error. But if you are directly referring to, let's say, create PO or maybe GRIR, in that case what will happen is, in the background, whatever transaction you are running, let's say Migo, so Migo will automatically fetch the new tables, or it automatically updates the new tables. So in that case there is no need to change. Your custom transactions will also work well on SAP S/4HANA.
Yeah, that's fine. So, one step ahead when you are one step backward when we think, like, let me think in terms of the table wise. So, as we know that now we have simplified the table, right? So, however, the custom field and custom tables are merging into our standard S4 HANA table. So, that is what is the thought process which I have. Maybe we can park this question and later maybe we can discuss. This is what
No,
my
see, if you, yes. If you are already having some custom code or custom table that you have created, custom table will not be affected. You will still be able to run the custom table. You will still be able to store the data in the custom table. It is only the some of the standard tables which are the redundant tables, which are actually storing the data, same data again and again. And these tables are removed. These standard tables from the custom. If you there, these tables will not be removed. If you migrate from old to SAP S/4HANA, you will still be able to use these custom tables.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Gaurav, this is Shakib. I have a question.
Yeah.
See, the thing, in landscape transformation, we get the benefit system which already converted to S4 HANA. We got the benefit for OLTP and OLAP system transactions. But the system which in process of conversion, we get the benefit only for OLAP system, right?
Yes, you are right. Yes. Because
Gaurav,
OLTP you are still doing. OLTP you are still doing on the old system.
can you just, Gaurav, can you just repeat the question? I could not hear that question. What was the question?
Yes. Yes. He's asking that if I go for landscape transformation, so I have two different systems, source system and the target system. Source system is SAP ECC and let's say target system is SAP S/4HANA. So let's say I have three different source systems like this, 1, 2, 3. So in the first phase, I am replacing this with SAP S/4HANA, while this two will continue as it is and they will throw the data to SAP S/4HANA, right? So in this case, because I am replacing this with S/4HANA, this will utilize both the benefits, OLTP and OLAP, because the transaction processing will be carried out through SAP S/4HANA and also the analytical processing will be carried out through SAP S/4HANA. But when we talk about this too, because the transactions are not changed, right? So OLTP will not be benefited here. You will not get the user interface. You will not get the different tables which are the simplified data model in this system. But from analytical point of view, you will still be getting the benefits for this. This is exactly what he's asking.
Okay, thank you.
I go.
Yeah, Kiran.
Kiran here. Like as you said, for example, if ERP system 2 for region 2 and region 3, if it is not migrated to S4 HANA also, they can use it, or if they migrate when they migrate, they can use when we talk S4 HANA.
Sorry. Can you just repeat what you said?
So you are telling, right? So if ERP, that OLTP, AP. So if ERP system region 2 and region 3, as I mentioned here, like so if they migrate complete, if they have not migrated complete to S4 HANA, so they can use both ERP and S4 HANA, or
No, if they are migrating to SAP S/4HANA, in that case, there will be only one. SAP R3 will be completely replaced with SAP S/4HANA. But when you are talking about this basic two scenarios, the last two scenarios, in that case, both will be running parallel because we are not replacing this. We are just replicating the data which is posted here to this particular thing, SAP S/4HANA.
so I'm not clear. Like replicating means again, so transformation is happening or it is not happening here for other two regions.
The database transformation, the application transformation is not happening. It is only the data which is flowing from this system these two systems to SAP S/4HANA.
So it means there will like a complete transformation will not happen in other regions.
Yes.
Okay.
Only system which is moving to SAP S/4HANA, only in that case the transformation will happen, which means the traditional SAP R3 will not be available. Rather, SAP S/4HANA will be available, which will be helping you in OLTP also. But if you are not migrating completely, which means you are just replicating, in that case both the systems will work in parallel. So you will do the transactions through the source system while you can utilize the benefits of analytics into the target system.
Hi Gaurav, I have one question. As you said, for landscape transformation, what happens is even you are not able to utilize the OLTP processes, but you will be able to utilize the OLAP, wherein analytics will happen through S4HANA. So my question is, as you
So
said,
anyway, they have to use.
hello.
Yes, Kiran, just
Yeah.
a minute. Let Sagar complete his question.
Yeah. So my question is, as you said, there is a change in tables, right? So as you said in last class that we don't have all the material tables. Now, for example, if I'm bringing data from the legacy system, which is ECC, for example, and I'm bringing data from a table which is now not there in S4HANA. So a new table altogether will be created in HANA database wherein you will be using your SLT transformation, or it will go and get dumped into the new table with a different way or something. So you got my point, right?
Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
for
See,
example, you
system
said
is
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I got your question, Sagar. The system takes care of it. You don't need to worry about it because you are right. So tables which are appearing here, they are not the same tables which are available here. So that is the reason why we are doing this replication. If the same tables need to be updated here, there is no point of replication in that case.
So
Why we are
analytic
replicating the
models,
data? Yeah.
yeah. So analytic models which were created, my point is like analytic models which were created in ECC, if we are bringing them also onto S4HANA, they won't work, right? Because table names are different.
They will work. If you remember, we talked about in our last session also that if you are reading some data from the
Mm-hmm.
old tables, still you will be able to read the data from the new tables because the new tables are available in the old tables. So that is the reason why we are doing this replication. Is replaced with, let's say, uh, any name, Sagar. Now when anybody will ask me, Gaurav, please provide this information, so I know that I don't have this information, but at the same time I also know that this information is available with Sagar. So I will not say no to you. What I will do is, whenever you ask any information to me, I will ask Sagar and I will get this information from Sagar and I will provide it to you.
So you
So
mean to say,
yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, continue.
Yes. So from the backend perspective, from the, or let's say from the end user perspective, whenever they will run any report, even though these tables are not available, but these tables are available as the views, and system knows where the data is stored. So it will automatically redirect the control to material doc table, and it will fetch the data and it will provide to the end user. So from BI perspective, BW perspective, whatever you are using, it is not only the reportings, it is not only the ECC reportings. Whatever data or wherever these tables are used, old tables, they will be still used as they are being used now.
So you mean to say on the new table there will be a view which will corresponding to the old table and it will take data from the new table.
Exactly.
Okay, so means normalization concept which was there in ECC is gone and they have combined all the tables. One table, new table is there, but they are still following normalization in terms of views, so that they can what you call they can use S4 HANA in order to get all the reports which were there in ECC, so that users don't have to, customers don't have to create everything from the scratch.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Gaurav.
Hi Gaurav,
Yeah,
this is
Shiva.
Shiva. I will take one example in ACC. We have a standard sales order VA01.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the VA01, we have the additional tab 1 and 2. In that, we are developed some new customs tab with the G fields and the G table. As per customer requirement, we are stored the data through customs tab. So whenever we are moving from ECC to S4 HANA, the data will transfer automatically, or we need to take the backup the G table and fields, and again we need to do the S4 HANA.
See, it all depends. Like, for example, let's say you are talking about VA01. So VA01 is available as it is. Okay, so in that case, whatever developments you made, they will still be valid. But let's say VA01 is completely deleted. There are some transactions which are deleted completely, right? You cannot run this now. Let's take an example of XD01, which was creation of customer, which is no more there in S4 HANA. So if you have created the tabs under XD01, they will not work. But if you have created the tabs under VA01, they will still work because VA01 is still available, and whatever changes you already made, they will remain in your database. We are not, see, whenever we are implementing SAP S4 HANA on top of your ECC, whatever data is already available in your system, which means the Z tables and Z transactions, whatever you created, they will still remain as it is. Okay, but again, there is one point here. Normally, you don't touch the standard transaction. So let's say VA01, I hope that you have created Z VA01 for this.
No.
Then there may be the problem, because normally, that is the reason why SAP suggests that don't change the delivered content of SAP, because whenever new updates will come, they will be replaced.
Okay.
If you have created ZVA01, I don't think there will be any problem. It will still run as it is running today. But if you have created VA01 and change it the standard delivery, then it may create problem.
Okay.
Other thing,
Okay.
when you are, see, there are also two scenarios now. One is you are migrating, which means you are doing a system conversion. Normally, even if the customer is using SAP already, you still give him two options. One is whether you want to perform the system conversion or you want to do the completely new implementation. Right? It is not necessary that if the customer is already using SAP, system conversion is the only option. You can still ask him that go for new implementation, which is better than system conversion. But if you are doing that, then whatever transactions you have created, whatever reports you have created, they will not be available in your new system because you are doing completely new implementation.
Okay.
Yes. So this is the all these things you need to check when you are. I'll talk about the different phases. Here it is not the business blueprint phase. There is one phase where you need to check all these requirements, like what exactly will be the effect on your installation of SAP S4 HANA on top of your ECC, and how are you going to take care of that things.
Okay. And my second question, as you said in previously, MSEG and MKPF tables are removed in S4 HANA. Instead of that, there is a MADDoc, some new tables are given to us. Now, in SAP ECC, I have created some Migo transaction. In the background, I called a standard BAPI to execute some more transaction codes. Whenever we transferring this process into S4 HANA, it will work or not, because in ECC I have selected in the BAPI MSEG and MSEG table inside the standard fields I have used. If the same fields are not available, how it will migrate to the S4 HANA?
See, inside you have taken the, you are saying the tables and the fields, but are they the standard fields or these are the Z fields that
All
you
are
have
standard
inserted?
fields. Yeah, standard fields and standard tables like MSEG, MKPF and BSEG, all are standard tables and standard fields. And I'm using the standard BAPI functionality.
Okay. Yes, in that case, if you are using the standard BAPI functionality, there is no need to make any changes. That will still work as it is working now.
Okay.
But if you have written something through the Z code, right? Let's say you are calling some Z code in the background, and it is updating some tables. See, there is a difference. One is you have created a Z table, you are updating that table, no problem. It will still work. Second is you have created the Z transactions which are affecting, which are inserting something in the table which will be deleted once you install SAP S/4HANA. That will create a problem because these tables are no more there in SAP S/4HANA. But the Z tables, whatever you have created, they will be still available. That is the reason why they will not throw any error.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any
further
just one
questions?
small question.
Yeah,
Out
Shakib.
of this, Shakib, one just extension of the question of this, that MSEC and MKPF table is removed and material doctor will is coming to the picture. So what about the fields? All fields should be there. Whatever fields are there in MSEC or MKPF tables, these fields now going to come through material doc table.
Yes. Yes. What we'll do, Shakib, is we are having this session maybe tomorrow where we are going to talk about which tables will be removed, which fields will be replaced, everything. So it will give you the complete picture. So when we are talking about the simplified data model, we are going to talk about from all the areas, like from procure to pay, how the data is simplified, data model is simplified, then from SD point of view, how it is simplified. At that time, you will get the complete idea.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Any other question related to this? These three scenarios are fine with you? Okay, let's go ahead. Now talking about SAP Activate methodology, which is replacing your ASAP methodology. So here you can see these are the 4 phases. This is not the phase. This is just the, let not consider this as a phase. Prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. Okay. So if we just start from here, let's say discover. Discover means what? Before I start, let me give you the scenario here. See, till now what we were doing is, we were creating the business blueprint document first, and then only we were doing the configurations, doing the after the business blueprint is signed off, then only we were touching the system. Till the time business blueprint is not signed off, there was no point in touching the system and performing something in the system directly. And that is the reason why normally when this happens, whenever you interact with your customer and you are understanding his requirement, he will give you the requirement from the functional point of view, from the business point of view. And once you are done with your requirements, you will create a business blueprint document where you will tell, okay, how you are going to map these requirements into SAP. And then you submit this document to your customer. Now, customer is not aware of what exactly company code is, what exactly plant is, how sales organization will behave, how purchase organization will behave, right? He doesn't know anything, and that creates problem many times. So customer tells you, yeah, I don't know what is this purchase organization, I don't know what is sales organization. It will be good if you give me the document which talks in my language, like I should understand what exactly this is. So he will ask you the complete detail about what is purchase organization, what is sales organization. Not only that, if you provide him the complete information, then too he will say, see, from the business point of view, I think this is okay, but I don't know what are the capabilities of your SAP system. How is there any better solution which you are giving? Is there any better solution which is better than what you are providing? Right. So why these issues come? Because customer has not seen SAP till now. Till the time he doesn't sign the business blueprint, he will not be able to see the SAP screens. This is the normal SAP methodology I'm talking about. But when of late, I think if we are dealing with the customers nowadays, everybody asks you before signing the business blueprint, can you just show us the demo, how the system will work? Just configure the basic things and show us how it will work. I think 90% of the customers are asking this. Now it all depends. If your company is very small, you have to give the demo, otherwise you will lose the business. But if your company is big, it may be the policy for your company. Till the time business blueprinting is not get signed off, you cannot show them the system. But from the business point of view, it will definitely add the value when actual customers, the end users, sees the system first, and then they come up with the answer, yes, your solution looks fine to me. Right? That is the thing which made this SAP Activate possible. Which means customer nowadays is asking, first show me what your product can deliver for my company. And then only I'll be able to tell you whether this solution is perfect or not. That is the reason why the first thing you can see here is discover, which means SAP offers the cloud trial version, which means it is a pre-configured system with the best business practices. It is not configured for your company specific processes, but the standard based business practices, they are already configured in this cloud trials version. So how you are going to start? You are not going to start sitting with the users, understanding their requirement. Rather, you are just trying to give the demo. You will just give the demo. This is what SAP S/4HANA is. If you want to do the purchase requisition creation, this is the way how you will do. This is the way how you will generate the purchase order. This is the way how you will get receipt. So user is also comfortable. User will also feel, yes, I understand this, what is going to happen in SAP. So that is the reason why the first step is a discover, which means you are actually going to show the system, the best business practices to the customer. And you are going to, in the preparation phase, you are going to start off with the model company. So this model company is already ready from SAP side itself to provide the demo. Okay, and model company with organizational and master data, some basic organization data and master data is also available. And if you think that some of the things you already know from the business point of view, you can add these things directly into your model company. But normally, if you are starting very fresh, you don't know much about the customer, during the preparation phase, just show him the best business practices. Just go through all the processes which are available in SAP S/4HANA or maybe SAP, like whatever it is. So you just go through all these processes and let's understand and try to figure out if there are any gaps. So for example, the best business practice says the purchase requisition should be created first, and then the RFQ, then the quotation, then the PO. This is the best business practices. But if there are any changes, you need to identify that changes. Okay, and that is exactly what you are going to do in the explore phase. You are going to run the fit gap analysis. What is fit gap analysis? To identify if there are any gaps in the standard business practices versus the practices or the processes which are followed by the business. Okay, and then once you are done with the gap document, which means you know these are the gaps which we need to fill, and then only we can go for implementation, or we can go for the go live. Okay, so in the realization phase, you are going to fill these gaps by doing the configurations. But now this realization phase is little bit different than what realization we have in SAP methodology. As I told you, this is the agile way of doing the things, which means, let's say if you identified 100 gaps, you will not waste time to complete all these 100 gaps and then do the go live. Rather, you will just identify the preferences of all these 100 gaps, give them the numberings, and you decide on the timelines. Like, okay, first 5 things are very critical to the business, without which they cannot go live. So you deliver these 5 things, they test it, and once they are tested, they will move on to the go live. The next 5 things you are going to deliver after go live, they will test it, and they will bring this into the system, the new system. That is the reason why this is called as an agile methodology. So what you are going to do is, again and again, you are coming with the new realization, you are testing it, and then you are giving it to the customer for their system. Finally, once the realization is completed, now again, realization and deploy, as I told you, this is a sequential step which will happen again and again for different things. But once you are done with the basic realization, which is critical from the business go live point of view, then you can deploy the solution. Okay, so once you deploy the solution, obviously you need to provide the trainings to the end users and all that things. And once deployed, which means you are ready to go live. and then you run the business, which means normal go live support and all. So in short, if I tell you what is SAP Activate methodology, how many phases are there? Basically, there are 4 phases: prepare, explore, realize, deploy. And that is exactly what you can see here. In prepare, we are not going to start everything from scratch. We are not going to sit without SAP with the customer. From the first day itself, we are going to show him the SAP screens. We are going to show him these are the things which are possible in SAP. If there are any deviations from your processes with the processes which are available in the SAP S/4HANA system, identify that gaps and realize these things and then go for live. Is this clear?
Question. So this is for new implementation, right? Because model company and all concept will be not something which would the person who's moving from ECC to S/4HANA. So this block of model company will be there, or this is the only standard cycle for everything, or there is a change. This represents only for new implementation.
Yes, normally this is for new implementation, but at the same time, if you are, let's say, if the company is already running SAP, even if you go for prepare and explore phase, in that case also, definitely realization and deploy will work separately. That is not going to work, because realization is something which normally you do on the fresh implementations. But prepare and explore, this can still work. Because even though if you are running the SAP from last several years, there are some changes which are applicable in SAP S/4HANA. So how are you going to show these changes to them? How are you going to make the notes of what is available in SAP S/4HANA and how it is deviating from your business? Now, normally when you sit with the customer, you show them this the model company code. If you are identifying gaps, it is also possible that these gaps are available in earlier SAP also, and customer has already come up with some customizing code. Then you need to identify whether this customizing code, as Sagar asked, that if I written some custom code, how it is going to behave. So you need to do this during your explore phase, whether the same custom code will work or you need to make some additional changes to make it work. That is exactly what you are going to do in the realization phase. And finally, you will deploy the new solution. Although it is already in place, SAP is already in place, but if you want to deploy SAP S/4HANA, you have to again go through this phase.
We have tools to check whether the custom code will work in S/4HANA or not before actually moving it and getting errors?
The tool is expected, but from the logistics point of view, it is still not available, but it is expected in the next versions.
Okay.
So is it like a same landscape which we're using in ERP, or it will be different, like development part, like how it will be in S/4HANA?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So like if we do any new customization, so in ERP, so initially we'll do in the development, after that we'll do testing, and we'll move, after that only finally we are moving into production. So once
Yes, same thing. Same.
No, here also.
Yes,
So
yes, same thing.
Here there will not be any change. Like first we'll do development, and in the quality system we'll do testing. So after that it will move to production, right?
Yes. Same thing will be followed here also.
Okay.
Yeah, there also. Yeah.
Yes, Suresh.
Just want to understand, like, in the prepare and explore phase, when we compare to the current SAP methodology, as we know that it will start from the blueprint, and so when you look in that way, so what exactly the action item from the consultant point in this prepare and explore phase?
Sorry, Suresh, can you just repeat?
So what I'm asking, like, when we are comparing into our SAP methodology, so as we know that in the blueprint phase, and we do have some of the basic action item when we start the project, right? So as the same way, when you compare in the prepare and explore phase, where we are already running in ECC systems and we are moving into S/4HANA, already we have the systems in all the regions, right? So when you look in that scenario, So what would be the our action items in the prepare and explore phases?
From the consultant point of view, you mean to say?
Yes, I'm asking consultant point.
Yes, it will be you who will be showing them the new system. It is you who will be doing the fit gap analysis. So your role will be like normally, if you follow SF, you go to the customer and you understand the requirements from the scratch. Here you need to run these demo sessions, you need to run these workshops. You need to show them all these things which are available in S4HANA. And then based on that, they will find out some of the discrepancies and you are the one who will be noting down all these gaps and coming up with the solutions. Have I answered your question, Sunish?
So what I mean to say that suppose let's say project preparation phase, what we are doing in the SAP methodology that we are doing over the scoping, and suppose let's say master data, what kind of the master data are in the scope and what modules are in the scope, right? When we coming into the our business blueprint, we are seeing that what is our the BRDs, how many BRDs will have the each modules, and we are preparing the BRDs and we are getting the sign off from the business, right? So this is what we are actually doing in the project preparation and blueprint phase. What I'm looking in the same way, when you are considering into the, I'm having already in the system, right? So in that phase, each consultant, what should their approach? Okay, I'm leading into MM module, or I'm leading in SD module or the FI module. So what is my approach? Okay, these are the scenarios I am currently running, whether it will run in our S4 HANA or what kind of the approach that we have to take care.
See again.
I'm not able to exactly mapping into this prepare and explore phases, what exactly that we need to do.
Okay. See, I'm explaining this again. I think the same thing. See, as a consultant, if you are said that this particular customer is looking to migrate his current ERP from ECC to SAP S/4HANA, and your role is to make sure that what is the scope of this project. Normally, it is in the blueprint also. Normally, you go and you try to identify what are the things that he will be requiring, and depending upon the business blueprint phase, you give him the quotations for the build and the next versions go live. Here also, when you are deployed on the customer premises to understand what are the things that he is looking for, you don't have to sit directly with the customer. You will be having the system, which is the system which is available with the model company. So what you need to do is you need to run these workshops where you will start everything from scratch. You will tell them, okay, these are the things which are available in SAP S/4HANA. Okay, and then at the same time you will try to understand where it is deviating from the best business practices. Okay, and then you will highlight all these things. Okay, these are the things which are deviating from the standard business practices. And once you are done with all this gap analysis, once you are done with all this identification of gaps, what you are going to see in the existing system, that is the source system which they are already using, you will try to find out how these gaps, because if these are the gaps in SAP S/4HANA, 99% of the times this should be the gap in SAP R3 also. How they are dealing with this gap, what exactly they have done, have they customized something, or if they are using some workarounds to come up with the situation. All these things you need to analyze, and once you are done with your analysis, you will suggest them whether the same thing what you are following in R3, the same method will be used, or you are going to use the custom code which was not available in R3 at all. This is exactly what you need to do. Similarly, see, normally in business blueprint also we are doing the same thing. We are just getting the requirements, we are comparing these requirements with SAP R3, and we are coming up with the solution plus the gap list, identification of gaps. Same thing will be applicable here also. Not only the identification, how you are going to resolve, that is also the part of business blueprint. So here at the end of explore phase, you will be again bring the document, but this document will not be called as a business blueprint document. This will be the solution or design document, something of that sort. You will not, I don't think that this document will still be called as a business blueprint document, but this can be called a solution or a design document. So from the functional point of view, I think the same role you are playing, only the product is different. Earlier you were selling SAP R3, now you are in SAP S/4HANA. Sunish, have I answered? Are you there, Sunish? Oh, I think he's left. Sunish, can you hear me?
Gaurav, I think we got disconnected maybe.
Yes, I think he has arrived now. Earlier he was disconnected. Now he's. Sunish, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I can hear. Sorry, I just got disconnected. So
Yes, yes, yes.
now my conclusion is at the preparation phase itself we will do most of the configuration for showing to the customer that okay, these are the best practices, or these are the way your scenario will work in our system, right?
No, see, preparation phase, as I told you, if you know the business in advance, you can write some, you can do some configuration. But if it is a completely new customer, how will you know what is his business scenario? You are not going to do the analysis from the first day without any SAP system. From the first day itself, you are going to show him the system. And if you
Yeah.
don't know the business, how will you configure the system in that case?
So what I mean to say that customer is already is running an ERP system, right? So that we in that case will be able to do, or that is what my question. Or if we will do in the configuration phase, in the prepare phase, or in the export phase.
No, in the preparation phase, you will just show him the model company, which is already
Okay,
created.
okay, that's fine.
Yes, and whatever realization, whatever configuration changes you will do, normally you will do in the realization phase. But again, as I told you, if you know the customer in advance, let's say the customer who wants to run SAP S/4HANA is already dealing with you. Maybe you are the only ones who implemented SAP R3. So in that case, you know all the things which are relevant for that customer. So you may in advance you configure the system and show his scenarios to him. But if the customer is totally new, in that case, you cannot do these things. So you have to
Okay,
show the model company.
yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's go ahead. So this is just the theoretical explanation of what is Activate. It is the combination of SAP based practices, tools for an assisted implementation, and agile methodology to simplify the adoption of SAP S/4HANA. It delivers ready-to-run business processes optimized for SAP S/4HANA with a reference solution. Again, it provides the best practices for migration. It is not only for implementation. So from the migration perspective also, integration perspective and configuration perspective, it provides the best business practices. We'll talk about this in detail, how it is going to help in migration and all. It supports different starting points for customers to adopt SAP S/4HANA. New implementation, system conversion, and landscape transformation. These are the three scenarios. And it accelerates the initial implementation of SAP S/4HANA and is designed for continuous innovation. So it is not only just the implementation, even after the implementation also, the regular support and all, this methodology will be able to support. Means when we are talking about agile way means what? Even after implementation, there must be some things which will come in the future also. So we'll follow the same approach. It is one simple modular and agile methodology supporting all. Okay, this is already done. Full support from initial development and continuous business innovation. Harmonized implementation approach for cloud, on-premise and hybrid. So whichever approach you select, whether cloud, on-premise or hybrid, this methodology will remain same. There is no change in terms of how you are going to change your implementation process. It is going to be same irrespective, because from the functional point of view, it will not make any change whether the customer is going on cloud or he's going on premises. Only thing is you need to be aware of what are the challenges in on cloud. As I told you, on cloud is always going to be the subset of on premise, which means if 100 functionalities are running on premise, cloud will not run all these 100 functionalities. It will be definitely 80. Right? So from the functional point of view, you must know what is the restrictions with cloud, and that we'll see in whenever we are talking about processes. It has a broad coverage of SAP solutions starting with SAP S/4HANA. It is a successor of SAP methodology and SAP launch methodology. I don't know if anybody from you used SAP launch methodology. Is anybody aware of what is SAP launch? Okay, I think it is not used that much. That is the reason why nobody has worked on this. But SAP, I think everybody knows. Now we are not going to follow SAP, rather we are going to follow SAP Activate methodology when we are talking about SAP S/4HANA. This is again the same thing, but it is explained in too much of detail. It shows you what are the things which will be included in all these phases. So 4 phases: prepare, explore, realize, deploy. And you can see each and every activity. So project setup, how you are going to do this project, which means the roadmap, and approach, which means the plan, how you are going to start the project, what will be the team, what will be the timelines. All these things will be available here in the roadmap approach. And initial system best practices, which means you will make the system ready, the initial system with the model company code. Okay, so you just start project with the ready to run best practices. You don't need to configure anything. Directly you use this SAP Cloud version and you just show it to the customer. Explore phase, where you will verify the solution scenarios, whether they are meeting the business needs, and capture the gaps or backlogs. So what you are going to do, the first thing, activate solution and rapid prototyping. I told you prototyping is what? You show him something, he'll say, no, this is not the thing I was looking for. So identify the gaps. Okay, which will help you in solution of fit and gap, and you will be able to get the information what is the delta part that is missing. So delta design, and you will identify the delta backlog. Once that is done, you will go to the realize phase, where you are actually make sure that whatever delta you have identified or gaps you have identified, try to recover that gaps, try to remove that gaps. So sprint execution means the whatever realizations were to be done, the configurations to be done, that you have done now. You will walk through the customer through the solution that you have built, that you have configured. You will ask him to test. Okay, it is not only the testing that is happening in front of you. During this process, you are also going to train the users. So this is E2E testing is nothing but the UAT. Okay, and then you will get the operation setup, which means everything is ready. Whether you want to, whatever you want to migrate, everything you will keep it ready, like a final preparation phase. Once that is ready, you will check the readiness check, perform the cutover, and go for go live. I think this is pretty much simple.
Gaurav, this delta design and delta backlog are new terms for me.
No, these are just the new terms. That's what delta is nothing but the gap.
Correct.
So let's say you are running the process. Okay, let's say creation of purchase order from PR. There is some best business practices, but now customer is already running some third-party solution. Oh, I will not say third-party. They written some customizing code. So this is the gap for me, right? Which is not available in S/4HANA directly. So I have to identify this customizing whatever they have done, whether that will automatically fit into S/4HANA or I need to make some changes. So that is the gap. This is the customizing gap. There must be some processes gaps also. Right? So whatever gaps you are identifying, they are nothing but the delta. These are the different terms they have used. Whether it is delta, it is gap, everything is same. Delta means what is your requirement minus what is available into your system, standard system.
So there will be number of sprints, and
Yes.
the number of sprints will conclude the project.
Yes. You can see the recycle here, which means you will do the sprints, it will be tested, there will be the walkthrough, again and again this will go on and on. Because as I told you, the requirements can be categorized, whether they are critical to the go live or the preference will be given to each and every requirement, and this process will go on and on. That's why it is called as an agile way of implementation. Same thing. So what exactly you are going to do here? Project setup, project team ramp up. Initial business including the best practices, start with the business practices. Same thing. Solution fit gap, business readiness. Delta design. Here you will also validate the solution. Okay. Finally, this agile, we already called this as agile. Sprint execution in the recycled phase is nothing but agile. Here you will perform the solution test and finally you will go for go live. So this is validation instead of blueprinting. What you are doing here is you have gone through the workshop A, where you are identifying what is available in SAP and what are the gaps. What means this is the business process, this is SAP, and these are the gaps. So whatever gaps you identified the delta scope and requirements, document and confirm the gaps. And before you go for delta design, which means before you go for build, you will prioritize the gaps. So let's say these are all the gaps. And you can see here, these are must, these are should, these are could, and this is would, which means the must things should be in place before you perform the go live. While these things are required, but the prioritization is not that much. So what you are doing here is you are prioritizing the things. And then in the delta design, you are making the estimations. Finally, after doing everything, you are going to verify and accept, and this is the release. You are releasing these sprints for planning. So this is under delta design. This is not build. We are not build till now. This is all the planning. So instead of calling this as a blueprint, blueprint is without any link to SAP solution. We have not seen the SAP solution till now. It is only on the papers that we are going to do this and all. But validation is you have seen the system. You identified what are the gaps available in the system. That is the reason the name which is given here is validation, and you can call it as a validation is nothing but the output of your explore phase. So you can call it a design document, validation document, solution document, whatever name you want to give. I don't think there is some specific name which is proposed by SAP, but these are all the terms which can be used. And here you can see how this is going to be done. So sprint 1, which will consist of these two functionalities, sprint 2, which will consist of other two functionalities, and this will go over time. So depending upon the scenarios, depending upon the criticality of the gaps, these gaps will be realized and they will be finally delivered to the customer for testing, and they will be available on the production system. Any questions?
Hello, Gaurav. This is Praful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to explain in detail this form of sprint, the string, and it is at 2 after second sprint and post sprint.
Sorry.
This firm up. Yeah.
Firm up print. I'm also not aware of what exactly this means, but this is the agile methodology. In the agile methodology, they give this name sprint and form up. Let me check what exactly this is.
Oh,
I think this is the yes. I think this is the two units are getting released together, maybe. But again, I need to check the things which are normally used in the agile one. But from our point of view, if you understand it, like how it will be done, it is like all the things will not be realized at once. So you are going to divide these things into parts, and part by part you are going to do the developments, do the customizing, do the testing, and then you will deliver to the end customer. So normally in when we go for SAP R3 implementations, normally customer asks that everything you give at one place. You don't give me part by part. But because nowadays every customer is asking for, at least I should have some basic things to be already used in my system. Maybe some things which are not that mandatory to me, they can follow. But at least the basic version is available to me. And that is the reason why this agile methodology is very popular nowadays.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any questions? I think I'm done with this SAP Activate methodology now. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can close for today. And tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, actually, we are going to start process by process.
So, Gaurav, Sunish, I think.
Yes, Sunish.
So the migration part, are we completed, or do we have any further steps on this migration?
No, see, migration is completely different. Migration we are going to understand, but the problem as of today is, from logistics point of view, migration cockpit is still undelivered. Okay. So which means normally when we see about let's say finance part, for finance part SAP has already provided the migration solution. But from the logistics point of view, it is still under development. We were expecting in version 1602, but I am still not. I've still not heard that that is in place. But anyways, migration. However, if the cockpit is not available, there are the other solutions. So whatever solution will be available as on date when we will cover this migration cockpit, definitely we will discuss. This is not the end of migration. Definitely migration will follow.
Yes, because we know that when there is a migration, there would be a detailed plan for that one. Because let's say a kind of the technical go live, then how we are moving our customer master data, how we are moving our config data, how we are moving our transaction data. These are the three levels of movement I want to see that one. Because that is what basically when we are looking about the migration approach, right?
Yes, that will follow, definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Yes, Sunil.
Yeah. Hey, Gaurav, this initially you told about this landscape conversion and all. That is just for understanding, and the main consultant involved is basis consultant, right? At that point of time.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
And it is not only basis. There are a lot of tools. Like one tool is obviously landscape transformation services (LTS). Another tool is PI server. If you heard of PI, which connects the two different systems. Like whatever will be posted in one system, it will be automatically coming into the another system. So it is not directly basis, but there are some technical modules which are responsible for this replication.
Correct. So, but for a functional guy like us, I mean, it is just for knowledge, but we will not be involved in that, right?
No. It is completely. See, even today also, I think you must be aware of what is IDOC. Right?
Yeah,
Who does this configuration and all for IDOCs? We are only responsible whether the particular posting is coming properly or not.
Yeah.
We are not responsible for configuring and mapping all these things. They are done by the yes.
Yeah, it is just a knowledge thing. I mean, which we should be aware of. Yeah.
And this training again, I'm explaining. This training will be useful. First, definitely for the consultants who are working as the configuration consultants, but being the new model or being the new what I can say technology, this thing will help you in business. What I can say, the solutioning part. So it is not going to be like more useful for the person who is again doing configuration after this training. Definitely 1 or 2 projects you have to do as a configuration, then only you will get the complete knowledge. But after that, you can play the part of solutioning consultant. When you are playing the part of solutioning consultant, it is not sufficient that you know the configuration. You need to know everything. So whenever, if there is a customer who is looking for S4 HANA, if you tell him, okay, I know the procure to pay process, I'll configure it. He will say, I'm not ready for configuration now. I need many details, like how it is going to help me, what are the things available, how I'm going to migrate. All these things you should know. That is a part of solutioning consultant. That is the reason why this particular topic was explained, like what are the 3 different scenarios from where you can migrate. So although you are not going to perform this landscape transformation, but at least you know when the customer is asking you what are the options, you can tell him, okay, if the company is big, SAP also provides this option.
Hi Gaurav,
Yeah,
Shiva.
Shiva.
I have understood the SAP Activate and
Hmm.
I need to know about the landscape. For example, in ECC we have the landscape like development, quality and production. In S4HANA also same and the
Yes,
TRs are
yes,
general development and we need to move it to the quality and production, same procedure.
yes, same process.
Okay. S4HANA or HANA database, there is no transport request system. We need to import and export to the different servers. Is it correct?
Sorry?
In S4HANA or HANA database, there is no TR generation in the development server or quality or production. We need to save as a some name and import into the system and again export to the another server.
No,
Is
no,
it
no, this
correct?
is not the case. This is not the case. You can generate the TRs also. TRs are also generated.
So both can be possible.
Both means TR are the normal way.
Okay.
Why you need import and export? Import and export is required where there is less possibility of generating the TR, but not 99% of the times we generate TRs, right?
Yeah, 99% generate the TRs, which I have observed in the system level. It gives the one pop-up, and the pop-up we need to mention the name and who is the username, and SAP it will come as a .sap.com.
Mm-hmm.
So
But that is a TR. That is a TR.
that is the TR.
Yeah, yeah.
So the system will give the TR number. We need not to mention any name or.
No, 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 not at all.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Gaurav, this is Srihari.
Yes, really.
Yeah, maybe this is very basic question. Just one curiosity sake I'm asking this. See, as you said earlier, in conventional ECC, we are following SAP methodology to deliver the project. Right?
Yes.
Now we are discussing about SAP activity or some agile methodology or something.
Yes.
In this HANA. See, it is, as per my understanding, it is the way how it's the methodology you follow, your project management team follow to deliver the project.
Yes.
It's a process, the path we follow. But what restrict you if you follow the same SAP methodology even in the case of HANA? How will you?
No, see, the SAP, see, that is also possible. That is not an issue. But why will you follow the linear process now? Earlier, why we are following this SAP methodology was there was no pre-configured model company and everything in place for best business practices in SAP.
Okay.
Right? Or you think it was possible? I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. In
But
HANA,
here, what you are, yes, there is a pre-configured company which you can use from day one itself. You don't need to perform any configurations.
but will it fit for the specific client's business process?
That is exactly, we are talking about best business practices. We are not talking about client business processes. So that is exactly what we are doing in the fit gap analysis.
So you mean to say with this HANA, whatever that pre-configured or pre-designed organizational elements or organizational setup, whatever is available as a best practice, it may fulfill most of the client's requirements.
Again, best business practices, most of the, I'll say 60% or let's say 70% of the processes are normally same in all the different companies. It is only 30% normally. I'm not talking about it. It is also possible that a particular customer is using completely different system. He has completely different processes. But 90 or not 90, 70% of the times, whatever is the basic process, all of them follow that. So the idea is to identify this 30% changes, identify is 30%, that is the delta that customer is using.
Yeah, because like in nowadays, like even from the past, blindly people will follow. Okay, if we need to set up some organizational setup, we need to copy the company code. We need to create our own company code plans. All the point of view, MM point of view, or WM. Then we used to set up our own organizational setup. We will not adopt that pre-configured, like whatever that standards are there, like
Yes.
already SAP.
Yes, the big challenge was there. This, if you, I don't know if you will agree or not. According to my experience, the server is not available for you on the first day.
Yeah.
It takes 2 or 3 months to purchase the server. So business blueprinting phase is going on. Still the server is not available. People are ready for realization. Still they are working, waiting for the server to come. This type of things happens. But here, there is no need for server because this is a cloud solution. The model company, you can use it on the cloud, which means you just pay for the services and you start showing this to the customer.
Right.
That is the benefit here.
Yeah, you need to say in this model, like in this cloud basis, it's very fast to get the access, and as soon as you complete or from the company side, you fulfill the formalities or payments and all, you will get the access. The demand you can use it.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Garu.
Yeah, sure.
We have the SAP ECC R/3 with some presentation layer and application layer and a data layer. The same way S4 stands, any definition or anything is there?
Yes, maybe we can say the fourth layer is nothing but SAP Fiori.
S4 means?
Fourth layer. Normally, see, it is database is SAP HANA, first layer.
Okay.
Right? Then you have the application, which is SAP S4 HANA, which is the second layer, or the application server that you are using, and the presentation server from where you are doing the transaction, your PC. Let's say it is a third layer. Now you can say the fourth layer is nothing but SAP Fiori, which is new one. But this is not according to SAP's definition. I really don't know it is called 4 or what, but this can be the answer to this question. So there is a next level which is available as a form of SAP Fiori or SAP Persona.
No. I think S4 means a suite 4.
Yes, that is okay, suite 4, but what is 4? Why it is 4? Suite 4 is correct. It is suite 4, but what is 4? See, R3 means 3 architecture, application, presentation, database.
Yes.
What is 4 here? I think the only layer which is added is SAP Fiori.
Okay.
That can be the answer, but it is not mentioned anywhere in SAP's documents. It is not mentioned in any of the trainings that I got from SAP. I'm just guessing this.
Fiori is not a database or anything. It's not a front-end tool, but basically Fiori need to work in the background. We need a UI5, correct?
But it is a front-end tool, nah? You are doing the transactions directly on SAP Fiori, so it is a front-end tool. Front-end means what? That you can see. You can see the SAP Fiori apps, but you cannot see the table. That is backend.
Yeah, it's the same like presentation layer and Fiori both are same.
Yes. Presentation is divided into two. One is your SAP GUI screen that you are using for transactions. Let's say Migo, Miro, these are what? These are the presentation layers. At the same time, you are getting one additional screen for SAP Fiori.
Okay.
So you can do these transactions from SAP Fiori also.
Okay, thank you.
Gaurav?
Yeah, Omar.
This is Omar.
Yeah, Omar.
Yeah, I have a question. The role and authorization of the users, in which stage of the SAP Activate phase can be done?
Yes. It is, see, roles and authorization is anyways part of any implementation that you do. So whether you follow Activate, whether you follow your SAP methodology or whatever it is, whenever you are going to give the authorizations to the user, it can form the part of any of the methodology, and that is also part of here also, right?
Yeah, what I mean, it fall under which phase? within the realization?
No, it should be under the
Explore maybe?
I think no, I think realization is correct. Under the realization phase. Maybe you will document this under the explore phase, but actual authorizations are given under the realization phase.
Okay, as long SAP S/4HANA, I think it comes with a predefined rules, especially if you are using the model company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can we have this stage a little bit propounded to be done in the explore phase or the preparation phase? Because Fury screens are involved even here, because you might need to give some access to the users through the Fury screens, and maybe you need to do some kind of development.
No, yes, as you said, the developments, whatever developments you need to do, you need to identify these developments, you need to have in place who will be authorized to do these developments. But again, you will not do this under prepare and explore, because it will be only documentation that you will be doing. But
Correct.
actual authorizations creations you will do under development phase, which is the realization phase.
Right, right. Thanks, thanks.
Any other questions?
Yeah, one question, being a technical and always hearing that this course is more intended for functional people. So I just want that in case you can like garnish something on the technical side also, like what changes I can expect. It would be good so that I can proceed in that direction to get more knowledge on S/4HANA.
Yes, yes, yes. So table level changes, the simplified data model that we are talking about. So tomorrow, as I told you, the processes we are going to start. The first thing in the processes will be which tables are removed and how the data is going to fetched from these tables now, which tables are new. All these things will be of your interest, I think.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So now is this SAP Logistics consists of many modules, like the few topics you have covered, like PP, MM, SD. So it is a complete solution for all the modules. It's like in future it may come with a different names again for each module.
No, already SAP Logistics is no more SAP Logistics. I told you in the demo session also and in the first session also. It is not SAP Logistics. It is already replaced with the processes. So it is SAP S/4HANA Procure to Pay, SAP S/4HANA Order to Cash, SAP S/4HANA Plan to Produce. So these are all the different modules or process-wise bifurcation which is provided by S/4HANA.
Okay.
So you.
Okay, as a SD consultant, how what from these classes what I can expect, like so what more of SD content will be covered here, like SD or some MM topics.
Okay, so as I told you, basically there are changes in three key enablers. First is SAP HANA as a database.
Yeah.
Being SAP HANA as a database, there are a lot of tables which are replaced, right? So first of all, which are the tables replaced under the SD module, under MM module? Okay. Then what are the apps available for Fiori apps available for SD, MM? Okay. And third thing, what are the processes? There are some processes also which are changed.
Yes.
So again and again, I'm giving the same example, like business partner is now compulsory for customer creation, which was not the case till now. So all these things you will be able to get from this course.
Okay, fine then. Thank you.
So Gaurav, one last question. As you said, there are integrators like the PI integrator, the HCI integrator, which I heard, HANA Cloud integrator recently. So you'll be covering these also, like how SAP standard best practices follows these integrators to connect to systems?
No, 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 that is totally technical. So
Okay.
this is the training, as you know, for the functional consultants who are basically MM, SD, PP consultants. And I think this is not my core area, PI and all these things. I have the basic knowledge, but again, I can't go in too much of details.
No, basic is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, if we are done with the questions, let's close for today. And tomorrow we'll meet same time with the processes now. We are concentrated too much on the big background till now, but we'll start looking at the processes, how the data model has been simplified, which tables are removed, which tables will come into the picture now, how it will be replaced, what will be the process changes. We'll start from tomorrow. Okay then, bye. We'll meet tomorrow.
Hello.
Yeah, Shri.
Exactly when we will enter into the, when we will see that exactly what changes are there in new S4HANA and compared to ECC, when we will work on actual system processor or configuration like.
Yes, that is exactly what I told. We are going to start it from tomorrow.
Oh, I mean, maybe
we may not see the system directly tomorrow because we need to understand from the technical side, like what are the tables removed, and then only we will see the actual transactions, whether the same is perfect in happening in the server also, it is only the PPTs. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Guru. This is Shiva.
Yes, Shiva.
Is it possible any sample project to execute in S4HANA, like a small project, is a one plant, one company code, some location, storage location, one distribution channel?
Yes, that is the whole plan. We are going to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great. That's great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye then. Meet tomorrow.